Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Now, today's video, we are doing Poppy Playtime Hot Takes Part 5. It's been about 2 weeks. I think it's finally time to do another. But before we begin, if you have any hot takes of your own, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. And also, while you're down there, maybe subscribe if you wish. But we're going to go ahead and get started off with a hot take from Mr. Non-Existent. And he says, hot take, if Chapter 4 released with no bugs, people would have loved it. All of the people I see play it for the first time after the bugs got patched loved it, and I really enjoy playing it now. And low key, I agree with you. I 100% do agree with you. I don't even get the hate. Like, the hate for Chapter 4 is so crazy just for everyone like Glazed Doughy and the Doctor and all this. Like, they hate the chapter, but they love everything in the chapter. So it just really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Like, how are you gonna hate the chapter? That's like hating a game, right? You hate, I mean, yeah, I guess it is just hating a game, but loving everything in the game, you know. That's like hating Fortnite, I guess. But you love everything in Fortnite, you know, the characters, the story.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
Well, I guess not exactly, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. I agree with your hot take, and we're going to move on. Lily deserves less than those around 500 fan arts on the Green website. She just appeared for one part, never again. I do not agree with your hot take, all right? She's bad. She's a baddie. She should have 1,000 more. All right? We need to up those numbers. So I do not agree with your hot take. I'm sorry, because that's too little. We need some official fan arts on that Green website. You know what I'm saying? Like get them up there. All right, get them up there. If y'all want me to make a video, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not making a video on that. We're gonna move on. Merzlin Z41. And they say hot take: the player is the most powerful because he killed Mommy Longleg, Catnap Doughy, Lily Love Braids, and some others. Maybe next chapter he will kill the prototype. I'm very 200% sure. I mean, technically the player is the strongest, but also like he's the most powerful. Yeah, he's killed all these other creatures. Yeah, but like not creatures, characters. But like the prototype would one-shot him if he got his hands on him. Mommy would, like all of these, Mommy Longlegs would one-shot him if she got her hands on him. Like most of these would just one-shot the player if they were able to. But the thing is, it's the Playtime Butcher for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So technically he's stronger, but at the same time, like he is just a dude. So he would probably get one shot, you know, if they, without plot armor, I guess you could say. But also, the plot armor is valid because it's a player. So I kind of agree with your hot take. That's my thoughts on it. We're going to move on to a hot take from Darth Gertman. And he says, another hot take, and this is a stupid one, but I guess I kind of like it. The blue hand will be the key to defeat the prototype, and that is why it's always with us. Maybe. One, I don't really know what's a hot take. It's not really a hot take. It's just like a theory, I guess. But maybe. I mean, we got to cut that. Blue hand is used for a lot of things, so it probably would be the thing to use, that the thing we use to defeat the prototype. But low key, I kind of feel like we're just going to use our hands, you know, like he's going to break our grab pack, you know, he's going to be like, oh, there's nothing you could do. And like Poppy distracts him and you like grab something and defeat him or something. Like, I don't know. Or maybe the villain's going to win the story, right? Because there's not a lot of stories where the villain just wins, you know what I'm saying? So might end with the prototype winning. So that's my thoughts on it. Next up, though, we have a hot take from Green Tulip 05, and they say, hot take, the prototype should have been the Scorpion. Because I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest, I do not know what MLLs is. But apparently MLLs, Mommy Longlegs, I'm stupid. Mommy Longlegs is already a spider-like monster, and a prototype should look like the same, just add the scorpion tail, but also has the hands of the dead toys instead of it being in the ribs. It would look way cooler. I don't know. I don't really agree with you. I don't really agree. I kind of do like the design. And also, like, Mommy Longlegs doesn't really look like a spider. It's just like a stretchy thing. You know what I'm saying? The prototype also doesn't really look like a spider. They're just inspired by a spider. So it's not really like an animal. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like an actual animal. So I don't really agree with your hot take. I think the design is good as is. Now we have a comment from Cheetah Herd M8K. And they say, hot take, if PJ were to fight the prototype, I think PJ would put up a really good fight against a prototype. I do not agree. He would get one shot. Literally, PJ would start running towards the prototype. Yeah, no, I do not agree with your hot take at all. I'm sorry, but no, there's no way. A really good fight, you know who'd put up a really good fight? Maybe like Joey or maybe Yarnaby. That's an underrated fighter. I think Yarnaby would put up a good fight, but PJ Pugapillar, no, I do not agree. So we're gonna move on. Next up, we have a hot take from Beanie the Cat, and apparently this hot take is so hot that it burned the roof of his mouth. I would like some proof of that, all right? Because I do not believe you. I think you're lying, but people need to stop whining about the amount of puzzles in Poppy Playtime. It's a puzzle game. What would a puzzle game be without puzzles? I'm personally fine with the puzzles. I think they are fun. And yeah, I do agree with you. It is a puzzle horror game, right? And the thing is, I remember the puzzle when the game came out. The puzzles were the things that made it like unique. Everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, the puzzles are so fun! I love the puzzles." So like the puzzles are literally one of the things that made the game popular. So without the puzzles, the game would not be as big as it is today. So yeah, I 100% agree with your hot take. Next up, we have a hot take from GDFB_studios. They say hot take: the player is more pure evil than the prototype. First, by not speaking, which isn't that bad. Second is literally just blankly watching most of them die. And third is because he isn't subscribed to me. Thanks. You know, free shout out, I guess, free promotion. But onto your hot take. First of all, him not speaking does not make him evil, but I think you realize that. But the second part, just be like, these things are trying to kill him. They killed probably hundreds of people in the factory. He is just trying. He is literally, this dude just pulled up to the factory. Like, he's just trying to survive, you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to save the orphans, I'm pretty sure. So, like, this guy's literally just trying to survive the factory, and at the time, he coincidentally kills him. Like, Mommy Longlegs, you know, she gets stuck. It's like, oh my goodness, let me. Well, no, he did that on purpose. Never mind. I take that part back. But, yeah, no, I don't think he's evil. Because, I mean, technically, it's self-defense, because these things did attack him first. So, technically, it's self-defense. I don't think he's more evil than the prototype. I don't even think the prototype is that evil, but that's a discussion for a different day. We have a hot take from the_Wugster, and they say, hot take: the doctor's boss fight in No Man's Land was the best section out of any chapter. I'm sorry, I do not agree with you. I have 3 sections that I think are better. First up, the original chase from chapter 1. That was peak. Second up, the catnap chase, quote unquote. Pretty much catnap kind of following you up the elevator and like turning on his spooky gas or his fear factor or whatever. That was pretty cool. And then finally, I think the prototype reveal scene. So those are some sections I think are better. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. We're going to move on. Now we have a hot take from Martin Vander Vecht -78H. Am I tweaking, or have there been like so many people with 78H at the end of their username? Am I tweaking? Maybe. But anyways, they say hot take: Project Playtime deserves to fail. And Loki, I don't know. The game is fun. There's probably better things to do, but I played the game a decent amount. I think it's pretty fun. There's a lot of things they could do better. So if you're just saying the idea of the game deserves to fail, then no. But if you're saying, like, I guess if the developers and them like just not updating it and them not improving on the game or anything, then it deserving to fail, yeah, I do agree. So it really just depends on how you mean. But I guess overall, I do kind of agree. They just like stopped updating the game, so obviously it was going to fail. And also the battle pass.
Cause I need to get that Fortnite battle pass.
Like, you weren't forced to buy the battle pass to play the game. You know, if you're like forced to buy it and you had to unlock the characters in the battle pass, then yeah. But there's just cosmetics, right? So it wasn't that bad. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. We're gonna move on to a hot take from Serial Design Nation V. I don't know. And they say, hot take: I put peanut butter on my toes and I walk through the dog park, offering some to dog. Brother, what is this?
You are done. Fired. Do not show your face at the laundry again.
Brother, what is this? Brother, delete your comment, stupid follower. Brother, what is this? Stupid follower, delete your comment, follower. What is this? Vow. Next up, we have a hot take from BattleBoy0100. They say, lukewarm take: this isn't really exclusive to this franchise, but it does affect it. The toxic part of the fandom, like the parts that hate on the games or those weird kids clickbait channels, ruin this series for the rest of us who just want to enjoy the games. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, right? I mean, obviously, the toxic part of any fandom is probably going to ruin the game, because usually the toxic parts are the loudest, right? Because they're toxic. And also those weird clickbait channels. Now, I do think Lily Love Braids is bad, but, you know. Using it for a kid's clickbait channel, that's pretty weird. You know, that's not good at all. I have been actually thinking about doing a rabbit hole video where I kind of just like yap about, like, maybe not the kids clickbait channel. Well, yeah, like the kids clickbait channels using like Lily Love Braids and all that stuff. So if you're interested on that, let me know. Probably take a little bit, but let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, I 100% agree with your hot take. Next up, we have a hot take from I'm Totally Not For. And they say, I'll just repeat my hot take here, because might as well. Hot take: paces for part 3. My apologies. There's literally like hundreds of comments per hot take video, so I can't get them all. But they say Wrong Side Out is the second to last worst Second to last worst CG5 Poppy Playtime song. For worst is Mommy's Here. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I do not listen to any of his music since like for 10 years. I haven't listened to it. I think there's like 2 songs that I think are good as they could go. One of them is it where it's like, I don't know, they're in the factory and it's like they're saying like in the hour of joy, summon, summon, summon. That one I think is decent. And that's low key. I can't even remember the other one. So like, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna agree with your hot take. It probably is the worst Poppy Playtime song if you say it. So I 100% agree with you. Next up, we have a hot take from Kyle whatever minus H8H. And see, there it is again. H8H. Here. Z8H. Why is everything ending in 8H? Am I tweaking? All right. Anyways, they say hot take here, a simpler version of my first comment in part 3. The order of the games from worst to best goes chapter 2 since it's boring, chapter 1 since it's short, chapter 4 since it's not really well fleshed out, chapter 5 since it still has worse graphics than chapter 3, and chapter 3 since many things like gameplay and lore. And then Project Playtime is the best because I really find it fun and that takes precedence over a good game. Fun. Yeah, no, I mean, if you think that Project Playtime is the best game because it is the funnest to you, then I can't even argue with that because at the end of the day, games are made for having fun. So if you are having more fun in a certain game than another, that's like your opinion, you know, that's not really a hot take. And you know, I kind of do agree with you. I think I would have 1 over 4, and in Project Playtime would probably be above 2 because it is fun. It's just it's dead. And you know, it's not fun. Wait in for about 10-20 minutes to get into a lobby. That's not fun. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And you know what? As long as the game is fun to you, go in and play it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not a gooner game, do what makes you, you know, play the games that make you have fun or any like weird stuff. You know, don't be playing those. But anyways, we're gonna move on. Next up, we have a hot take from Doomer Plays minus N1W, and they say hot take Benny's the Bendy or whatever the ink guy. I'm blanking. I think it's Bendy, right? Bendy in the ink machine. Design looks like Nightmare Huggies. So maybe they took his idea of his head for Huggy Wuggy. I kind of see that because the heads do look similar. They kind of curve at the ends. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I do agree with you. Maybe that's what the guy was talking about. And yeah, they say Bendy from the ink machine in their second comment. So I think I do agree. It looks similar, but I don't think it was copied. So that's my thoughts on it. Next up, we have 2 hot takes from Hyperland Co. And the first one is, next up is a hot take from this boy minus Q1U. And they say, hot take, if Killy Willy appears in chapter 6, then they're running out of ideas. And this one I kind of do and kind of don't agree. Because on one hand, yeah, technically they're running out of ideas. But on the other hand, like, are you saying them introducing Kissy Missy means they're running out of ideas? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I guess you could say yes, but like, if they do it in a really, really cool way, I have no complaints, right? If you saw my Will They Be Poppy Playtime Chapter 6 video, you'll know my thoughts on it. But I think it'd be cool and neat to see him in there. But I do see how you're saying how they're running out of ideas because it's just going to be Huggy and Wuggy again. So 50-50 agree on your hot take. Now we have a hot take from Briar Rose 1959 Son. They said in a previous vid, they posted this hot take again. My bad for not posting it or covering it because there's literally on this video alone 128 comments. So, you know, I can't, like, I try to do like 20 or 25 per video. That's the goal. You know, I'm going to miss some people. So I apologize to anyone who doesn't get their hot take in a video. But they say the design isn't always important horror-wise. Because Nightmare Huggy Wuggy actually looks pretty goofy, and he looks ugly. But the game makes him scary because it's very unexpected, and his jump scare is great, and it is canon, so you have to witness it. But Yarnaby had a good design with all the scratches in the mouth and stuff, but in the game, he wasn't scary at all. So I do low-key agree with you. It's always, like, important how you implement your horror creature, because your horror creature could be the scariest thing in the universe. But if you implement it goofy, or if you make it, like, the design could be the scariest design, but if you implement it so it's not scary in game, but it's just not going to be scary, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I 100% agree with you. Next up, we have 2 hot takes from Zora Viking. We're only going to do the second one. And they say, because it's a boiling hot take, and they say Chum Chompkins wasn't necessary at all for chapter 5 because he barely does anything. It feels like an afterthought, even though he has a really cute design. Now, I feel like they're setting him up for something else because he isn't dead. He's coming back. They barely did anything with him. So I feel like they're kind of building him up. And he's going to have a larger role for chapter 6, right? Same with Giblet, and I guess obviously same with the prototype, but they've been building him up. So I think it was maybe necessary, but it really all just depends on what they are doing in chapter 6. So that's my thoughts on it. Next up, we have a hot take from Conducts UG, and they say Lily's section of chapter 5 could have been shortened to leave more room for the Huggy or the prototype. For example, her section could have just been getting the crumpets, having the prototype revealed, and then her chase. Getting the friends is just tedious and has little to no reason to be a part of the game. Now, I've watched Fusion Z Gamer's playthrough, and he spent a very good bit of time on the Huggy. You know, Huggy was like pretty much the first third of the game, and then Lulu Love Rage was like a half, and then the prototype was the very end. So more time for Huggy, I don't really agree with. More time for the prototype. I think that's what chapter 6 is going to be for. I think just taking a little bit of time away from Lily's section and adding more lore, like discovering more lore, would have been good. But other than that, I don't really think it was that bad. So that's my thoughts on it. Now we have our final hot take from Dreamy Dragons 13. They say, hot take, the Pianosaurus advert is mid. And I'm sorry, but I do not agree with you. I think it is pretty peak, right? The song is very catchy. The ad actually looks like an ad. Like the whole ad makes it seem like this would have been an actual ad. And honestly, if I saw this ad, I would probably go and buy one. You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, the song is very catchy. I don't think it's mid at all. I think it is really good. So, yeah, I do not agree with your hot take, and that's my thoughts on it. Now, if y'all have any thoughts of your own, you know, maybe some hot takes of your own, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. And that is going to be the end of today's video. Now, if y'all enjoyed this video and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton. But in case you don't do that, in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.